Hey YouTube. Alright, so it's a Monday. It's February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. And so my Aeromotive fuel rails got delivered today from Mr. Robert Bates. Aeromotives. Gorgeous looking pieces. And he also sent me the fuel pressure regulator. I need to clean up the gauge, but it's a good working fuel pressure regulator. So this little clip here, I'm going to undo that tin, and that's going to end up going right there. So that way that'll be mounted. I'll have a gauge for the fuel pressure. I just got to clean it up. I might just buy a new gauge for it, but if I can get that one to clean up, I'll just use that one, because no need spending more money if I don't have to. If it'll work and don't leak, that's all I need. But yeah, so got the Aeromotives today. I was trying to put them on, but the bracket is hitting the intercooler right here. And then I also have to pull the alternator back off so that I can get to the other bolt down there. And because it's like directly under this part right here. And I haven't got to test fit it on the back side because all that's in the way. So I still don't know if that bracket's going to work for the back side or not. I am going to have to cap off one of the both of these ends for this side, because I believe Robert had them, he was using them in the Fiero, so he had a lot more room, and I don't think he was intercooled on his at the time, or I don't know, maybe he had a different intercooler that these brackets cleared. I'm not for sure. I still want to clean them out, because I mean, you can tell there's a little bit of gunk and stuff in there, so I'm going to use the compressed air and blow them out and get it all cleaned out. But man, I love it. I'm super happy with having these. He gave me a hell of a deal. I just couldn't pass it up, and so I bought them. So now the engine is pretty much about to be complete. I'm just gonna have to grind down a little bit of the brackets, at least one of them for the front side. And I'm gonna have to change the fittings and just like cap the ends off, because it's not gonna work like that, because with those fittings on the other end, it's putting those fittings right here underneath the belt wrap, and I'm gonna have the intercooler lines right here, and this is gonna be a returnless system, in which he has a return, so he just has them set up a little bit differently. But I've got fittings and stainless braided line on the way, so once I do get them mounted, I can make up the line and get everything all connected, have the crossover for the fuel line all hooked up, and then I have the fitting for the fuel feed. I have all the fittings over here. So there's my fuel feed fitting. So once I'm gonna have to get like a T or something so this can thread in. This is an 8AN, and that gives me my fuel feed that the fuel line goes onto, and that will just clip right on and let me put the little clip in place, and it sticks right on there. So that's my fuel feed fitting. And then these are the transmission cooler fittings, and these are also transmission cooler fittings with some adapters. So I'll end up using the adapters for the 8AN to 10AN for these. But the other sides that go into the transmission, these are for the 4L60, and it has this longer extended piece, and it won't work with the 4T65E front wheel drive transmission. So I had to get these regular short ones that don't extend up. So I'll take those two 10AN to 8AN adapters and thread them onto these 8AN fittings, and these will thread into the bottom of the transmission, and then this is what I'll use to hook up my AN lines to my trans cooler, which is still in the back seat. But so I've got my fittings, so now I'm just waiting on the line, the stainless braided line with the rest of the fittings that I ordered that come with it. It was like 55, 60 bucks. And so that should be here in like the next week. And I ordered new headlights for this. With they're the black instead of having the amber right there. They're just black or like dark gray. And I ordered brand new LED bulbs, And I've ordered a whole bunch of stuff. I ordered a ZZP strut tower bar, the ZZP front sway bar with the new bushings and end links. I don't know. I was going to order a brand new set of the lower control arms with those rubber polyurethane never tear bushings, and they're like $90, and I just haven't ordered those yet. I still have them in my cart. But I ordered a bunch of stuff, and then I ordered a bunch of stuff on ZZP directly, which was the sway bar and the strut tower bar, and all the rest of the stuff I ordered. 136-pound valve springs, LS modified retainers and locks, LS7 lifters, 2 new lifter guides, and then the strut tower bar and the sway bar. And so everything except the strut tower bar and the sway bar is for the Grand Am build for the NIC cam, for whenever I get the engine pulled out of the 97 and tear it all apart, then I'll do all that. But I got my taxes, so I went ahead and just ordered the stuff so I could have it, and it's over there ready to go. And then once I get whichever heads I'm going to use, I'm going to have to upgrade the valve springs. So I'll just take the heads to the machine shop, have them clean it up, do the new valve springs and new valve seals, and do a full valve job on it, make sure everything's good to go. And then I can get that engine put back together. But I want to focus on getting this one done and getting this car done first. I do still want to work on that car some. I need to tear that engine apart, and I need to get that subframe out, and there is a lot of stuff I need to do over there. But I want to get this one going also. And then I also kind of just want to buy another engine from the salvage yard and throw in the 06, so I can just daily the 06 and it'll run right, and then I can tear this one apart and do the Grand Am. But even if I do that, then I'm still going to be stuck with having this car with no engine and not having all the time to get that done. So if I can keep this one running for now and try to just do little stuff in the meantime on the Grand Am and try to just focus and get this one done, and if I can get all this torn apart and get it done, then I can be driving this one and then worry about working on the Grand Am. But I don't know, I really just want to get this car done. I want to drive it again, and it's just got a long way to go. But I'm waiting up here also because I've got a guy coming to buy the parts Grand Am. I posted it for $100, and he's coming to buy it for $75. So I'm just waiting for him to send me a message and let me know that he's here so I can let him in the gate, and I'm gonna help him get that car loaded up. So I guess I'm gonna get off of here, and it's probably gonna be it over here for this tonight. But whenever a guy gets here, and I'll record a little bit of us loading up the car once he said he's got a rollback, so we'll get it loaded up, and I'll do a little bit of recording and say a final goodbye to the parts car, and that's going to be it for tonight. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Hey YouTube, so I just got off of work. I'm driving over to my storage. It's Friday the 18th, and I'm headed over to my storage. I got a whole bunch of new parts in from ZZP and eBay and Facebook Marketplace and a bunch of stuff. I spent like $1,000 on everything as my whole tax refund. But it's all good. I got everything's in, so whenever I get over to my storage, I'm gonna go through everything, show you guys everything I got and what it's going for, and give you guys another update on this stuff. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated whenever I get over to my storage. Alright YouTube, so I'm over here at my storage, the 07 Prix. So got a bunch of stuff in. Alright, so pretty much this is the ZZP front sway bar for the 07, which this thing is beefy. It is way heavier than the factory one. Comes with new mounts, new bushings, new end links, the bolts to bolt it in, like everything. And then this is a front strut tower bar. So that right there was like $250 for those. And then so I got the 80-pound or 90-pound valve springs off DZP, and LS modified retainers for running the NIC cam for the Grand Am. And then I got a brand new set of LS7 lifters and a new set of lifter guides. And then I was talking to a guy on Facebook Marketplace about these 2 double rollers and this set of head studs. And I was also talking to him about these are LS7 Corvette factory valve springs and retainers and locks. And I don't know what the what pounds they are, like 90 pound or 100 pound. I'm not for sure, so I need to look these up. But I didn't even buy these. I guess he just threw these in. But then I got a JP Racing double roller and a Rollmaster double roller and a brand new set of ARP head studs with everything, with the assembly lube and everything. Pontiac Supercharged 3800 L67 99 and up. So I've already looked through them. Everything's in there. They look good. There's all the short ones. All the long ones are in that one. Got the washers and the nuts and the assembly lube. So like I said, that's a brand new set. I got these for 80 bucks and I got both of these for 80 bucks. And then like 15 for shipping, so like 175 total shipped. So these were from Chris Inman off a Marketplace. He's got a turbo Impala, like a 03 or 04 silver Chevy Impala turbo. And actually I believe now it's not even turbo because now he's selling everything. But yeah, he gave me the hookup on all this stuff right here. Here, let me unwrap these double rollers so y'all can see how nice, good quality they are. Now these are both used double rollers. Like I said, this is the Rollmaster. Yeah, it even says Rollmaster right there. The Rollmaster double roller. And it comes with everything. And this is the JP Racing. The JP Performance. I think it's JP Racing. I know, JP Performance, my bad. Yeah, there's both the double rollers. So I got two double rollers for 80 bucks. And then the brand new set of head bolts, or head studs, sorry, and the LS7 Corvette valve springs, retainers, and valve locks. He even included the locks. So, like I said, one of these 2 double rollers is going to go on the Grand Am engine, which is the engine in the 97 Prix, once I get it pulled out. So it's going to get the NIC cam, one of these 2 double rollers, it's going to get the head studs, it's going to get the LS7 lifters and the new guides, and one of these sets of valve springs. I don't know, I was looking on ZZP and they said they recommend going with the 105 pound plus, but they said you can run the 90 pound valve spring, so they were kind of contradicting themselves. So I just went ahead and got the 90 pound springs because they were sold out of everything else. And then to get the modified retainers, I actually had to go with the LS ones. So I actually get 4 extra retainers because they're 16 instead of 12. So I have 4 extra retainers plus all these retainers that are in here. So I don't know if these are stronger springs than these 90s, then I'll end up using these for the NIC cam. But if not, if they're the same, then I'll just use the brand new ones. But I have to look up and see what these springs are rated at. But man, overall everything's been going really good. So, and then this is my I got 20 foot of fuel nylon braided hose with like 10 or 12 different fittings. There's like 4 straights and 2 U's and 2 90s and 2 45s. And I think that's it. But there's a bunch of 6A fittings, and that's going to be for the fuel rail. And then so pretty much what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to shave down this bracket, because like I said in the last video, or earlier in the video, it hits on the intercooler right there whenever I try to put that on. So I'm going to have to shave that bracket down. But even once I get it shaved and put that on there, this fitting is going to be pointed right up into the belt wrap. So what I'm probably going to do is just pull this fitting off and just put a cap in it. And then on the rear one, which is over there. Whenever it goes on, I'll pull the fitting on this side under the alternator off and cap it. So then I'll just have a feed going to this side, and then a feed going to this side, and probably going up into the fuel pressure regulator, because I have the fuel pressure regulator over there. It's going to bolt on right there at that 10. Instead of having this little bracket, it'll have the fuel pressure regulator bolted on right there with the fuel gauge. And yeah, so I'm going to have to make some AN lines and get everything hooked up. I'm going to have to use my fitting I have here is for the fuel line. I'm going to have to somehow get this to thread into the fuel pressure regulator, because that's going to be my main source, and then it'll just come out of the regulator into both the rails. So that's pretty much how that's going to go. Yeah, and then I also got a brand new set of headlights and a brand new set of fog lights for the 07. And I got the ones that there's no amber, they're like dark gray, and like pretty much exactly like this, but dark gray instead of amber. And then I got a brand new set of fog lights to go in there, since I got a new bumper and new headlights. Figured I get new fog lights. And also I got a brand new set of LED bulbs for the lights and for the fog lights, but they just haven't come in yet. And I'm still waiting on one other thing, I believe, to come in. And then today, my exhaust gaskets for the downpipe. So yeah, I got the gaskets in for this flange here for the downpipe. I got 2 of them. And so that's at the house. And then also my new welding mask came in today. So that's waiting for me at the house. But I wanted to swing by and just kind of show everything that I've got in, and this is going to be the next update. So hopefully this weekend I can make it over here and I can actually get some stuff done, because I'm really wanting to drop the subframe out and get this thing power washed. It's supposed to be a pretty nice weekend. I did notice that over at the house the 97 is leaking transmission fluid, and I was checking and it's coming from the cooler lines. Yeah, it's coming from the cooler lines where this crimp piece is onto the rubber hose. And since I'm not going to be using these lines, and they're brand spanking new, then I was thinking about just pulling these lines off of here, out of this trans, since it's already drained and everything anyways. And I'm going to try to use these lines for the 97 until I pull the engine out. That way I don't have to go buy new lines or anything. And then these aren't going to be wasted, because the 06 is using an external cooler. The 07 will be using an external cooler. And the only one that's not is the 97. And once I pull the engine out of it for the Grand Dam, then it'll just, I don't know, I might end up getting another engine for it and building another one, or like making it NA, or I don't even know yet. Like right now I just want to use it as my parts car, but I got to get something else going first. So I still don't know how long it's going to be until I can get that done, but I'm trying to get everything ready to go. And so I'm going to take all the stuff for the Grand Dam, and it's going to go over to the Grand Dam storage, and then I'm probably going to head over to the house. But I just want to give you guys a little update on all the new stuff I got in for both of the cars. So hopefully here in like the next month or two, I can at least have some major stuff done. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to get over here this weekend and drop this subframe out of here. I mean, it's like 5 o'clock right now, so I probably have an hour or 2 left of daylight. And once I drop the subframe out, I'm not going to have room to have the car, the engine, the subframe, and all the tools and everything in here all at the same time. There's just no way. So I'm definitely going to have a full day whenever I come drop this. So I'm going to try to get over here tomorrow and get this subframe and transmission dropped down out of here and start making some progress on the 07, because I need to make some major progress quick. And so yeah, that's going to be the plan. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I've got the headlight. I got one of them installed. As you can see, it's the gray. Looks way better. And then I've got both the new fog lights installed on the new bumper. Like I said, it still needs to get painted, but it's coming together nice. These are like $90, less than $100 for both. they're just super clean. Very nice. So I'm going to show you what these things look like. They're looking super clean. Very nice. So I just got that one set in there just to see what they look like. I'm not fully installing them. Like I said, I'm still waiting for the bulbs. And then I've got to I've taken the old ones, the old headlights and fog lights that were on here, and they're going to go on the 06 prix, since I am going to end up getting a new engine for it. So yeah, I've got all that pulled off. They're sitting on top of the 97, and I'm going to get those on the 06 probably tonight whenever I get back over to the house, just because it's quick and just a couple bolts, couple plugs. And then I'll have the harnesses for the new headlights and fog lights, because I still have those just on there. I guess I could just pull those off and keep them for these, but it's not going back together right yet, so not really a big deal. But man, making a lot of progress with everything. So definitely whenever I come over here tomorrow, I'm going to try to get the front bumper off and get the whole subframe dropped out with the transmission, and I might leave the struts in there and just undo the struts from the knuckles. But yeah, I'm trying to get all this out of here tomorrow, and I got to get the power washer out, and I got to bring like all my water hoses so I can run the water hose from the front up there to back here, so I can power wash the subframe. And I've got scrubbers and all that, so I can scrub and spray degreaser and everything and get everything all nice and cleaned up and go from there. So yeah, that's gonna be my update for right now. So now I'm just gonna get all this stuff picked up. I'm gonna get these sway bar and the strut tower bar, and I'm just gonna set those up here for now. And all that stuff over there is going over to the Grand Am storage. I need to get the new front bumper back in here, and these exhaust pieces. One of those is going to the Grand Am storage. The wheel bearing, the air compressor needs to come back in. The oil needs to come back in. But other than that, it's just little stuff. I didn't pull too much stuff out today, so. But yeah, y'all stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys back over here tomorrow. Hey YouTube. Alright, so it's Saturday. I just got over here to my storage, and I'm about to start getting all the stuff pulled out so I can get this front bumper pulled off. And so I'm going to have to pull the engine and the stand out and clear some stuff out of here in front of the car so I can actually get under here and unbolt all this plastic and the fender liners. And I don't think I'll have to take the front wheels off, but I'll probably have to at least turn the wheels. So I'll probably have to pull that transmission out that's over on the side, which means I'm going to have to move this engine on the bucket. So yeah, I'm going to have to move quite a bit of stuff out of my way. But I'm going to get this front bumper off today. And I want to take these transmission cooler lines, because I'm probably going to try to use those on the 97 for now. Because like I said yesterday, right here where the hose is crimped into the metal line, it's leaking really bad. And so I need to get those swapped out. And then also the transmission cooler lines are also leaking on the 97. So I'm going to have to get another set of lines from somewhere to swap that out. But yeah, so I'm going to make some progress today and get this front bumper off. So y'all stay tuned, and I'm going to get all the stuff out of my way and get it pulled out. And then I'll give you guys another update whenever I start pulling this front bumper off. Alright you guys, so I've got pretty much everything cleared out. I got some tools out of the trunk. I just pulled the headlights off and stuck them in the trunk of the 07, so they're out of the way. You can see where I had to break this on both sides to modify for those LED headlight bulbs. So now the new ones that I bought, they just actually turn and go down. So I have a whole nother header panel. I just have to take all these plastic clips out of it. So I have another header panel over in the trunk of the Grand Am for the Grand Prix. So I'm going to end up swapping that out. And then so I got my impact with the 10, and I was able just to stick it down in here and zip this 10mm bolt out, which is here. And then, but for this side, since there's the horn and the washer tank and all that, I had to go through the fog light hole and put this extension on it and just kind of stick it in down through here and get it up like that. And then that's how I got that one there. So this side, the passenger side, is a little more of a pain in the ass, but I was able to get to it without having to use a ratchet. And then to get all these plastic clips off, I just use a wire stripper, and you just open it like that. And whenever you squeeze it on the side of that top piece right there, it pops it up a little. Then you can pull it up, and the whole thing comes right out. There's 5 of those right on top. And I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of those on top. Sorry. And then there's normally 5 of them down here. It looks like I'm missing some. I only have 2. So I got this one here and this one here. There's normally more. And then I've got a couple of, I believe these are 3/8. There's 3 of them. They're either 3/8 or 10. I'm going to end up replacing this piece. I have another one sitting over there. So I'm going to end up replacing that. But yeah, I've got to get that unbolted. And then I've got to undo these little 7mm. And then there's some more on this side. Right there. And then there's on both sides. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 on this side and 7 on that side. So those are all 7mm. So I just got to undo all these little bolts. The front bumper will come off. I'm going to have to pop my grills out because the new bumper did not come with the grills. As you can see, no grills. So I know I was looking, I'm trying to find a set of the SPO grills, the chrome metal ones, but man, even whenever I find them, they're like $200 for 2 little grills, and I'm not paying that. I'd rather just paint these silver or white or something. But I don't know. So I'm gonna keep working at it, and oh, and then I've also still got the tins that's right back here. So once I pull that plastic panel off, there's a 10mm like right here. Yeah, and then after that, the bumper will come off. So I'm going to get back to it and start getting all these other bolts out and get this front bumper off, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so I've got the front bumper off. It's already chilling out there. And I popped the grill and the emblem off. So I'm making progress. So now I am able to get to all these bolts. Down here, there's one here, there's one here, there's a couple here. And just that one down there, and then the 10 up here. I'm pretty sure that, oh, there's another 10 right there. Yeah, there's like maybe 10 or 12 bolts on this whole thing that hold this in. So now I'm going to run over to the Grand Am storage. I'm going to grab that other header panel. I'm going to come back over here and I'll compare. And then I'm going to have to try to pop all these little white plastic pieces out. These are like the guides for the headlights, what the headlight studs sit in. That's what keeps them in there and keeps them from moving. So I'm going to go get that so I can swap this piece around and get all these pieces swapped around. And then I'm going to test fit the new bumper and with the new headlights and everything, and just make sure everything lines up and everything's going to work and do as it's supposed to. So yeah, making lots of progress over here. So it's coming along. But yeah, y'all stay tuned. I'm going to run over to the other storage and grab the other header panel, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, so I went and grabbed the other header panel out of the Grand Am storage. It does have a little crack. Oh wait, it's on this side. It's got a little crack in it right here. So I'm probably going to super glue that before I install it. And see, it does have one plastic piece, so I'm going to have to put another one in up here, where this one goes up here. So I've got that one I could take out of this one and put in that top hole. And then over here it's missing both, and this one has both. So I can pop both of these out, put them in both of these, and then it'll be how it's supposed to be. So, I mean, this is still a good header panel piece, and I'll have to keep this little cover. It's just a couple of those little pull-out pins. But, I mean, I just want everything on this to be correct and be right, and I want this to be a really good, reliable vehicle whenever I get it all done. So, But yeah, y'all stay tuned and keep you guys updated once I get this header panel off. Alright, you guys, so I've got the old broken one out, and I got all the little inserts out. So now I'm just going to add these inserts in where they're missing. Alright, you guys, so I've got the header panel swapped out. I've got all the little inserts in for the headlights. So now I'm going to go around the back side and grab the front bumper. I'm going to come test fit the front bumper and go from there. So y'all give me a minute. We'll grab the bumper and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, so I've got the front bumper test fitted up with the fog lights. So I've still got to get this stuff bolted on, but I mean everything will line up. It's slide in place how it's supposed to. Everything lines up nice. Everything on the bottom lines up nice. I'm just going to have to let it relax right here. It's kind of bubbled up a little. And same on this one. I think that was just from whenever I brought it home and I've just had it sitting back there on the table. But I mean, whenever everything goes in there, it all lines up how it's supposed to. So it looks good to me. So I'm definitely going to have to get this thing painted up. And that way it'll match everything. So I'm going to have the front bumper and the hood painted. And I might go get a couple of those GXP fenders and just have the fenders painted to match also. That way everything on the front end can be new and freshly painted and it'll all match. And just kind of blend it into the doors. Now I need to get that goof off or goo gone or something and try to get all this tape residue off this. It's kind of scratched up and shit too, so I might just replace the mirror and have it painted too. Shit, I don't know. But it's definitely coming together. It's looking really good. So I'm happy with the progress. So now I'm gonna end up pulling the front bumper back off completely and just set it back there. So now I've got the header panel swapped. The bumper's done. So yeah, I'm just gonna set this stuff out of the way, and that way I can start working on getting the front wheels off and, you know, getting the CV axle nuts off. So that way once I start getting everything torn apart, I can pull the axles out, I can get those cleaned up, I can get the subframe cleaned up, get the transmission cleaned up. Still need to finish the Transgo shift kit. Like, there's still a lot of stuff I need to get done on this thing. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated as I make more progress. Alright, YouTube, so I've got the headlights test fitted with the bumper. Everything's looking to fit really nice. I'm definitely going to have to put the headlights on for good once, and then put the bumper on whenever I'm doing the final. But I mean, as far as how everything's lining up, the headlights line up with the fenders great, line up with the front bumper nice. Say this side's not on all the way, so it's not even connected over here right now, and I still need to just kind of let it relax a little bit, let it kind of bend back to its original shape. But overall, I mean, it seems to fit pretty good for being an aftermarket bumper. So, and I also noticed that, so I took the original badge off of the original bumper, and there's not even an inset for it on this one. So I don't know, I guess I'm not even going to have a badge on it. So, oh well, no big deal. But man, I'm really digging all the new lights. And then the new headlight bulbs are supposed to be here today over at the house. So I got brand new LED for all three, for the fog lights and for the headlights, highs and lows. It was like 25, 28 bucks, something like that, less than 30 bucks for 6 bulbs. So those will be here today, and then I'll be able to come and get those in probably tomorrow. But making some good progress. So now I'm going to pull these headlights back off and pull the front bumper back off and get everything set back there and start working on getting the subframe and everything dropped out. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I've got the front bumper and the headlights back off. Got the front bumper sitting over here just relaxing in the sun, trying to fix those couple bubbles that were right here. And then got the headlights in the trunk, and I just kind of cleaned all this stuff up a little bit, wiped it down, wiped this down up here, wiped down the radiator support. See, it was all kind of gunky like this, but all over. It looks a lot better. It probably just needs repainted, but it looks better than it did. So now I'm going to straighten the wheels back up. I'm going to get these front wheels off. and start pulling the CV axle nuts off on both sides. And then I'll probably end up just undoing the strut and just remove the strut completely and go from there. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated once I get these front wheels off. Alright guys, so I've got the front wheels off and I got the speed sensors all disconnected and got the wires pulled out. Got the whole engine harness out. It's over there by the new front bumper. So next thing I got to do is I've just got to get these axle nuts off on both sides. And then I can go ahead and pull both the struts, which are just going to be these 2 bolts here and then the 3 bolts up top. And these are 21s and these are 14s or 15s. And yeah, so once I get both of these axle nuts off, I can go ahead and pull the struts, get the axles pulled out, and go from there. Like I said, the trans is already drained of the fluid, so it's not going to leak anything when I pull the axles. So that's the next stage, is just getting the axles out and getting all this stuff dropped down. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, I got both of the axle nuts off. It's a 34mm socket. And it's a little bit bigger. I really think they're 33, but the 34 worked. I got both of them off. So like I said, they're only like a year old, so they're not super rusted. Everything still looked pretty nice. Wheel bearings, all 4 are nice. They're all new. So next thing is I've got to get these strut bolts undone. Like I said, they're a 21mm. Got to get both of these nuts off, hammer them out, and then I'll be able to rock the knuckle forward, and I'll be able to get the axles out. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated whenever I get both these front axles out. Alright y'all, so I've got the passenger side axle out, and also found that my brake pads were about gone, so I'm going to order a new set of brake pads for the front, and I'll probably end up checking the rears too. So I'm going to get a zip tie, or maybe a couple zip ties, and throw through one of those holes that the strut normally goes through. I'm going to zip tie both of the brake calipers up in here so I don't have to disconnect the lines or anything. And then once I get this side zip tied up, all I gotta do is drop the strut out of that side and unbolt the brake line from there like I did this side, and then get the caliper off and hang it up, and pretty much ready to drop the subframe out. I do still have to disconnect the steering linkage, but other than that, once I get that axle on that side out and everything, this thing's ready to drop. So I'll keep you guys updated as I keep making progress, so y'all stay tuned. Okay guys, so I've got both axles out, both struts out. Everything's laying over here. So now I've just got a couple more zip ties. I just got to zip tie this caliper up there into where the strut bolts in. And pretty much, other than disconnecting the steering linkage, this subframe is ready to drop out with the transmission. So it's coming along very good. I still got a little bit more I've got to get done, and this thing can be out of here. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I got my jack stands moved back behind the subframe. I just have this one kind of holding up the transmission on the side right there. I don't know, I'm probably going to have to end up pulling the trans out with the cherry picker, which is cool because now the jack stands are out of my way, so the legs can actually get in here. And so yeah, I'm going to pull the trans out. I just got to disconnect the shifter and that bracket right there, and then the transmission mount on the side. Just a couple bolts on the bottom, so nothing there. And then this trans can come out with the cooler lines. And then once I have the trans out, then I'll disconnect those cooler lines so I can use those for the 97. I'll do that, swap those out another time. But it's making a lot of progress. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this trans disconnected so I can get it pulled out of here with the picker. And then I'll be able to disconnect that steering linkage and then drop this subframe out. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. You guys, so I've got the transmission hooked up on the picker. I've got both of the nuts off of the trans mount. So all I gotta do is just lift this thing up. And I'm probably gonna have to grab the pry bar. come over here to this side. We're gonna have to pry this transmission mount. There it goes. Now the mount is loose. So now just gotta make sure I don't suck up my brand new transmission cooler lines and get this thing popped out of here. So let me put you guys down so I can situate my brand new cooler lines that are on here and kind of maneuver this trans out of here, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright guys, and just like that, the trans is out. So you see the trans mount, it was pretty dry rotted. It's got a lot of movement. So I've got the brand spanking new one right here. So we'll end up getting that baby on there, replace that one. And then I've got the brand new engine mount already mounted to the, or already bolted up to the engine. So now I just got to get this thing cleaned up, get the subframe cleaned up. And I got to figure out somewhere to set this thing, the trans. But we'll get it figured out. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, trans is out, it's back here, so now I just gotta peel this heat shield shit off. I gotta get that boot off so I can get to the steering linkage bolt, and then I can just zip that bolt out, and then the linkage will come right off the steering rack whenever I lower it down. And that's it. I just got like 4 bolts and the whole rack's out, or the whole subframe's out. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated here in just a minute once I get this out. Alright guys, so the subframe is technically out. It is fully unbolted. I have it sitting on 2 jack stands just to kind of hold it up. Let's say about all 4 bolts are all out. So it is dropped down. And then he's just sitting on these 2 jack stands. So now I've just got to undo these couple clips for this power wires and get it off these jack stands, and it's good to go. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, there it is. Subframe is out. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but pretty much just had it on the jack stands and just tried to keep it balanced and slid it out, and had to go back and forth and work this side a little bit and then work this side a little bit. And then once I got it out, this was hitting and the pump wasn't going to clear. So I just set the pump down in the middle, and then I scooted one at a time the jack stands from back here to like up to here so I could let it tilt and lean down, and was able to get this to clear the radiator support. And then once I got it all the way out, then I just kind of pulled it off the jack stands one at a time to get it lower, and now it's out. So yeah, now I've just got to start taking all this stuff apart, and that way I can get everything power washed, and I can get that old rack and pinion off because I'm not using it. And I can start getting all this shit taken apart. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I've got pretty much everything disconnected. I have both the sway bar end links out. I could only get to the back 2 sway bar bracket bolts because the other 2 are under the inner tie rods. So I did end up getting both of the steering rack bolts out. So it's loose now. And I've got both of the cotter pins and the nuts off the outer tie rods. I've just got to get the outer tie rods out of the knuckles, and I want to try not to fuck them up because these aren't that old. They're only like a year old. But other than that, like this whole power steering system is disconnected and ready to come off. And then I've got, like I said, I've got brand new everything for it, and I already have a pump on the engine. So I just got to tear all this shit off and set it to the side and go from there. So just want to give y'all an update, show y'all how much progress I've made so far. It is starting to get a little dark. It's only like 6:30 or 7 or something like that. I've only been over here for a couple hours. I made a shit ton of progress today for only a couple hours. Look, there's nothing in here. So I'm happy with the progress so far. But I'm going to keep working at it, and I'm going to get these outer tie rods out of the knuckles and get this whole power steering system off, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright guys, so everything pretty much is stripped. I've got the sway bar off, got the steering rack and the lines and the pump off. I've got everything off. The only thing I haven't taken off is the lower control arms, and I'm just going to leave them on there along with the knuckles so I can power wash all this stuff whenever I wash everything. The only thing I might take off is the rotors, but all this stuff I want to get nice and deep cleaned, and I want to get all this gunk and shit off. So I want this thing to look brand new, just like the one in the 06 did whenever I power washed it. So that's the plan for tomorrow. And so now I've got to get all this stuff picked up and somehow try to get it organized and set in here and go from there. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with this stuff, because I'm gonna do something with this transmission over here. I'm probably just gonna roll it back to give me some room, and then I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the subframe and what I'm gonna do with this trans and the engine and all the bumpers. And I've got a lot of stuff I gotta figure out real quick because it's getting dark and there's not a shit ton of light. I mean, there's some light. And then I've got my power, my extension cord ran, and I'm powering my light back here, so I can turn this around this way and it'll shine light up to the front and kind of give me some light. And it helps out back here so I can kind of see what all is back here. So, I mean, it's not super horrible, but I don't have a shit ton of light up here, so I'm pretty much just using my little DeWalt flashlight and the light on my phone, and sometimes the light on the impact because it's got a light on it also. So yeah, this is the progress I made so far. I'm very stoked. Can't believe I got everything out, and it's really coming along. I want to power wash in here in the bay too and get all this cleaned up. So I'll probably end up doing that as well, but I'll have to be after I get this all nice and deep cleaned, and then I'll probably just bolt this back in temporarily to put the wheels on with the struts and everything, and that way I can just roll this out as a roller with no motor or trans and just power wash it out here and get spray it down and get everything nice and power washed and cleaned and clean it up really good. And then I can roll it back in, put it back on stands, and probably drop the subframe back out again, because whenever I do this, I want to put the engine and trans together and then set it all on the subframe at one time and get it in all the mounting holes so it's easier for me to line it up. And then I want to put this whole thing in from the bottom, just like I did the 06 when I did the 06 out here. So that's how I did the first engine trans swap, and the transmission held up great, and now it's getting the Transgo shift kit, and I still going to have to pull this whole side cover off, and I'm still trying to find a gasket for that. It's the same style as the pan gasket, like the OE style, metal with the rubber insert, but I know they're just out of stock everywhere right now. No one has them, not even the dealers. So I'm still trying to find a side pan gasket, so if anybody has one for a decent price, hit me up. Leave a comment down below and tell me you got it and how much you want for it, and I'll gladly buy it from you so I can go ahead and get that done, because I've still got the rest of it in that Transgo box right there. So but yeah, I'm gonna quit rambling on, and I'm gonna start organizing shit and getting stuff picked up and put up, and I'll give you guys another update before I leave tonight, so y'all stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I've got the subframe up here sitting against the wall. It's pretty much stripped of everything except for the knuckles with the brakes and the control arms. And then I just lowered down the transmission onto the other creeper with the other transmission. So I got the transmission sitting there on some cardboard so I don't scratch up that brand new pan. So now I just got to get this all folded up and probably try to tuck it back over here. And I've got to figure out something to do with the bumpers and pick up all the tools and everything. But yeah, I just want to keep you guys updated and let you know how it's going. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so I've got everything packed in here except for the subframe. I'm gonna go take it over to the car wash. It's like caddy corner for my storage, and so it's just like not even a block away. It's just pull out of here, go right through the stoplight, and boom, it's right there on the right behind Quick Trip. So I'm going to take this over to the car wash and go ahead and power wash all this stuff, so I ain't got to worry about trying to bring all these hoses and everything. And that way tomorrow, whenever I get over here, I can just pull everything out and I can start bolting stuff on. I can bolt on the brand new ZZP sway bar. I can get the new rack and pinion on and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done, and I'll give you guys another update whenever I make it over to the car wash. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, you guys, so I got it strapped down. I had to run over to the Grand Dam storage and grab a ratchet strap, but I got a strap so she ain't going nowhere. And I made sure to slide it down so it wasn't on the glass before I strapped her down, so no pressure on the glass at all. So I'm gonna head over across the street. I gotta stop at Quick Trip and get some change, and then I'll go over to the car wash and get this thing power washed up. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, y'all, I'm up here at the car wash. So I'm about to get this thing all sprayed down with this degreaser, and then I'm gonna throw some change in here and power wash away. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, y'all, so this is as clean as it came out at the car wash. It still got a little shit in there, not much. So if I get a scrubby and scrub it and wipe it down with some more degreaser, I should be able to get most of that stuff off and get it looking, most of it looking all nice and clean like this. So I guess I'm about to load this thing back up and take it back over to the storage, and I'll give you guys another update. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll meet you over at the storage. Alright, y'all, so I just got back over here to the storage, and it looks like I completely missed this backside, but oh well, it is what it is. I'll get that by hand with all the rest of this stuff. Because look, I can rub it with my finger and it starts coming off. It's crazy that the power washer wasn't enough to pull that off, but like I said, I'll get some degreaser and spray and I'll scrub it, and I still have the power washer, so it won't be as much gunk and shit coming off out here in the parking lot. So maybe I can talk the Ray, the guy that works here, maybe I can talk him into let me bring it up there by the office and doing it up there by the office with just one hose. But I'm gonna get this storage open back up and get this thing thrown back in here for the night, and then I'm headed home, and I'll catch y'all back over here tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey YouTube, so it's Monday. I wasn't able to make it over here yesterday because I had to watch my stepdaughter all day, and I just didn't want to bring her over here and her just get in the way, so I just didn't come over here yesterday. But I just got off work. I had to come grab all my tools because I've got to go work on a family member's vehicle, and I'm doing all the front suspension stuff. It's a Saturn View, I think, little SUV. And so we got him like a 12-piece front suspension kit like a month ago, and he went and got a brand new jack and some jack stands so I can do the work. And I think he's gonna pay me with the jack and the jack stands, which is cool because my jack is fucked. I need a new one. And then also I was talking to a guy on Facebook, so he makes billet supercharger pulleys and pulleys. So he's making me a water pump, billet aluminum water pump pulley for $80. And he's also making me this 6-rib idler, plastic idler supercharger belt pulley for $60. So it's $140 shipped for both. So I've got those coming. And then I talked to another guy. He has an Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, and off-brand, like a different brand of fuel logs. And somebody else was interested in just the logs, and I'm interested in just the fuel pressure regulator. So he told me, I think he said 80 shipped on that. So I'm going to get the Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, and then I'm getting those two pulley, the water pump pulley and this idler pulley, both in billet aluminum. So it's going to look pretty sick, pretty much going to be similar to this style here, both with a, well, this one won't, but this one will have an interchangeable bearing, And then this one will be identical to this, just billet aluminum like this. So going to be sick. It's going to make the engine look just a little bit better. And then I also decided I'm not going to use this harness, so I'm going to end up taking this harness back off because I already have the other harness. I already have all the injector plugs wired on the correct way. And also, whenever I had this harness in the 06, it was making my fuel gauge read backwards, and I don't want to have that issue on the 07. So I'm just going to, that's the original harness right there, so I'm going to take that harness and just try to make it as clean and tape it all up and try to make it look nicer like this one. Yeah, but I'm going to end up using that harness. So that's going to be my update for today. Like I said, I'm just over here grabbing tools so I can go work on this Saturn. So I've got all my tools out here, so I'm about to load all this shit up in the car and put all the welder and stuff back in here and get it all locked up. And I'm headed over to go work on the Saturn. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated sometime. Hey YouTube, alright, so it's Tuesday, it's like 5:30 or so, had to work all day, and it's supposed to be snowing for like the next 4 or 5 days and be like 10 degrees and -5 and shit, so I ain't gonna be able to get nothing done for like the next week. So I got off work, I come over here, I wipe down the subframe, try to get as much as this old gunk and shit off of it. There's still some little spots, and you know, it's definitely not perfect, but it looks way better than it did previously. So now, since I got this pretty cleaned up, I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to grab the new rack and pinion and the new sway bar and start getting all that stuff bolted back down on here and getting everything going back together. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to grab these parts out of the back seat of the 07 and we're going to start getting some stuff reassembled. So stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so that was pretty quick. So I got the brand new ZZP sway bar on there. It went pretty nice and easy. It came with new brackets and new bolts and everything, new bushings. So now that's all like brand new. So it even came with some new end links, which I was planning on just, I don't know, I might reuse these bushings because these are the never tear bushings and they're red. I might just clean these bushings up and maybe I'll just use these new bolts. I don't know, these bushings just look kind of cheap with this plastic shit. I don't like that. So probably gonna end up reusing those. Maybe just use the new bars, the new bolt and nut. But yeah, so now I'm gonna get in here to the back seat. I'm gonna grab this rack and pinion and stuff, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, so I've got the new rack and pinion with the inner tie rods on. Got the new sway bar on. Got the sway bar links on. I need to clean them up a little bit, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So there's not really a whole lot more I can get done today, because with the engine, I've still got to get it off the stand, and I've got to get the flex plate on there and get the bolts all Loctited and get that torqued down. And then I've still got to, well, after I do that, I have to mount the trans to the engine, get that all bolted together, and do all the torque converter to flex plate bolts and all that. But I've still got to pull the trans apart more, so I don't want to get it all mounted up on there yet. So I don't know, like my initial plan was I was going to get this done, and then I was just going to bolt it back in here so I could roll it out and actually power wash it. But if I do that, then once I roll this thing out and power wash all the shit's just going to go right back all over that. And I don't want that, so I don't even know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this yet. But I'm happy with it. I'm making progress. So that's, like I said, that's pretty much everything I can do for today. But it's looking good. I'm really digging it. I really like the quality of everything. So the only other thing I got so far is that strut tower bar, and I can't really do anything with it since everything's out, and if I put it in right now it would just be in the way. So but making lots of progress. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated.